Today we're going to connect Stoicism, an ancient philosophy of self-mastery, with modern female psychology. We'll explore signs a woman likes you but tries not to show it, and what a Stoic mindset teaches us about handling those signs with strength, grace, and wisdom. So sit back, because this isn't just about attraction, it's about understanding human nature through the eyes of philosophy. Lesson 1. The power of observation. See things as they are. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. In attraction, most men fall victim to their own imagination. They see what they want to see, not what is. They read too deeply into every emoji, every message, every glance across the room. But the Stoic man? He trains his mind to see clearly. When a woman likes you but hides it, she may act distant. She may test your patience, avoid eye contact, or act indifferent. That's not rejection, that's control. She's testing your energy, your composure, your ability to stay centered. A Stoic man doesn't react with desperation or assumption. He observes calmly. He notes her actions, not from insecurity, but from understanding. In Stoicism, this is called objectivity. You don't let emotion cloud perception. You step back and ask, what's truly happening here? Modern application. When you feel anxious about her mixed signals, breathe. Don't assume, don't chase, simply observe. Master your emotions before trying to understand hers. Because clarity begins when emotion ends. In every relationship, romantic, social, or professional, perception is everything. Yet most of the time, what we see isn't what is. We project, assume, and interpret reality through the lens of our emotions, fears, and desires. When it comes to attraction, especially when a woman likes you but tries not to show it, your imagination becomes your greatest enemy. You start analyzing every detail, the tone of her voice, the way she glances at you, how often she replies to your messages. Soon your mind becomes a storm of maybes. Maybe she's into me. Maybe she's just being polite. Maybe she's playing hard to get. But a Stoic, a student of calm observation, knows that truth does not lie in assumptions. It lies in stillness. It lies in seeing things as they truly are. This principle, the power of observation, is one of the cornerstones of Stoic wisdom. The Stoic meaning of observation to a Stoic, is not simply looking. It is the art of perceiving without judgment, of watching reality unfold without twisting it through the filter of ego or desire. Epictetus taught that all events are neutral. It's not the event itself that disturbs us. It's our opinion about it. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus, so when you see someone's behavior, say a woman acting distant or reserved, the behavior itself is neutral. It is your interpretation that turns it into rejection, confusion, or attraction. A Stoic observer doesn't jump to conclusions. He takes a mental step back, removes emotion from perception, and simply sees. This discipline of awareness was called prosos by the ancient Stoics, a state of attentive mindfulness. They practiced it daily, observing thoughts, sensations, and external events as they are, not as they wish them to be. Historical roots. Marcus Aurelius and the clarity of mind. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself to see things as they truly are. In his meditations he wrote, "If you remove your opinion about what is painful, you remove the pain itself." He trained himself to view the world with objectivity, stripping events of emotional exaggeration. To Marcus, the practice of clear observation was not just philosophy, it was survival. He faced betrayal, war, loss, yet stayed calm because he refused to add mental stories to events. In the same way, when dealing with attraction or uncertainty, observation means stripping away mental noise. When you stop over-interpreting every sign, you reclaim peace. You start to see not what you fear, but what actually is. Why observation matters in female psychology. Now let's bring this to modern life. to attraction and relationships. Women, like men, often guard their emotions. They might hide their feelings for many reasons: fear of rejection, pride, emotional caution, or social conditioning. When she likes you but tries not to show it, her actions may seem mixed. She might avoid you one day and subtly seek your attention the next. She might maintain eye contact but speak with restraint. She may smile, then act indifferent. A reactive man, ruled by desire, reads every gesture as proof or rejection. He rides an emotional roller coaster of hope and doubt. He tries to decode her instead of understanding her. But a Stoic observer doesn't get lost in these fluctuations. He doesn't assume. He simply notes behavior as data, without judgment. He knows that human behavior is complex and layered, and that calm observation reveals more truth than anxious guessing ever could. 4. The science behind Stoic observation. Modern psychology supports this ancient wisdom. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, inspired directly by Stoic principles, teaches that our emotions are shaped not by events, but by our interpretations of them. When you learn to observe before reacting, you give your rational mind a chance to interpret events more clearly. You stop operating from anxiety and start operating from awareness. Neuroscience calls this metacognition, the ability to think about your own thoughts. It's what allows you to step outside the emotional moment and see patterns clearly. In attraction, this gives you enormous power. You can sense genuine interest, distinguish between mixed signals and disinterest, and, most importantly, maintain your composure no matter what. 5. The dangers of overinterpretation. Most men fail at attraction not because they lack confidence, but because they lack emotional control. When they like someone, their minds start filling in blanks. She smiled. She must like me. She didn't reply. She must hate me. She looked away. I did something wrong. This constant analysis leads to emotional exhaustion. You stop being present and start chasing meaning in every microgesture. Seneca warned against this centuries ago. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. He meant that scattering your focus, especially across unnecessary mental noise, destroys peace. When you overanalyze people's behavior, you live in illusion, not truth. You stop seeing her and start seeing only your own insecurity reflected back at you. 6. Observation as emotional discipline. Observation is a form of emotional discipline. It's training yourself to pause between stimulus and response, to hold your perception before you let emotion hijack it. Imagine she acts cold. Instead of immediately assuming rejection, a Stoic man pauses. He thinks, I don't know what she's feeling. It might be stress, distraction, or personal issues. I will not make it about me. That's mastery. That's freedom. Marcus Aurelius called this ability the citadel within, a mental fortress where no external behavior can disturb your peace unless you allow it. 7. How to practice Stoic observation. Daily, here's how you can begin to see things as they are, not as your emotions want them to be. Step 1. Pause before reacting. Whenever you notice emotional triggers, a message, a tone, a look, don't react immediately. Take 3 breaths, observe, ask, what actually happened without my story? Step 2. Journal the facts at the end of your day. Write down events objectively. She didn't reply today. She laughed during our conversation. Avoid adding interpretations like she's losing interest or she's flirting. Just the facts. Step 3. Practice mindful detachment. Meditate for 5-10 minutes daily. Observe your thoughts like clouds passing by. This strengthens your ability to watch emotions without becoming them. Step 4. Seek evidence, not emotion. When you feel confusion about someone's behavior, ask, do I have evidence or is this emotion? Most of the time it's emotion, and emotion fades when truth is observed. 8. The inner reward of observation. The more you practice observation, the calmer your mind becomes. You'll notice people's behavior with more empathy, not judgment. You'll sense attraction without anxiety, distance without panic. Women, and people in general, will start feeling more relaxed around you because your energy is grounded. You're not demanding emotional certainty. You're offering emotional stability, and that's what truly draws others in, not words, not tactics, but presence. The Stoic perspective on love and clarity. Epictetus once said, "When something happens, the only thing in your power is your attitude toward it. If she likes you but hides it, accept. If she doesn't, accept that too, because your peace should never depend on her." Openness on observation doesn't mean you suppress feeling. It means you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You begin to love with understanding, not with obsession. You stop demanding clarity from others and start cultivating clarity within. 10. Conclusion. The freedom of seeing clearly, to see things as they are, without distortion, without fantasy. One is the highest form of freedom. A Stoic man doesn't live blinded by illusion. He sees people's actions, feels his emotions, and yet stays grounded in truth. When you develop the power of observation, you stop overthinking, you stop misreading others, you stop losing peace over what you cannot control. You gain clarity, you gain calm, and ironically, you become far more attractive, because your energy radiates confidence, not confusion. So the next time you feel uncertain about someone's feelings, don't rush to interpret, simply observe, see things as they are, and trust that truth always reveals itself in silence, not speculation. Lesson 2. Control what you can. Accept what you can't. Some things are in our control, and others are not. Epictetus. You can't control whether she likes you. You can't control how quickly she opens up. You can't control if she's shy, scared, or guarded. But you can control your mindset, your presence, and your respect. When a woman hides her feelings, it's often out of fear of rejection, vulnerability, or loss of control. A Stoic man doesn't get frustrated. He understands that every human carries unseen battles. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion." So, don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume her distance means disinterest. Sometimes silence is attraction wrapped in uncertainty. Modern application. Control your own behavior. Don't send 10 texts trying to figure out what she's thinking. Focus on your purpose, your growth, your inner calm. The more you master yourself, the more naturally people are drawn to your energy. Every day, we wrestle with forces we can't command. The opinions of others, the twists of fate, the changes of love, the uncertainty of tomorrow, and yet, most of our suffering doesn't come from what happens to us, but from our refusal to accept what we can't control. We want people to act a certain way. We want life to unfold according to our plans. We want relationships, success, and respect to come without resistance. But the Stoics remind us, the moment we try to control what is beyond us, we lose control of ourselves. This philosophy, control what you can, accept what you can't, isn't about giving up. It's about understanding limits. It's not about weakness. It's about wisdom. It's about focusing your energy where it actually matters within your own mind, choices, and actions. Let's dive deeply into what this Stoic truth means and how it can completely transform how you live, love, and think. 1. The core of Stoic control. What is truly ours? Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Epictetus. Enchiridion. The Stoics divided life into 2 categories. What is within our control? Our opinions, judgments, desires, aversions, and actions. What is not within our control? Everything else. The actions of others, external events, outcomes, and fate. Think about it. You can't control whether people love you. You can't control whether you'll succeed immediately. You can't control aging, accidents, or random events. But you can control your response. You can control how you interpret, adapt, and grow from what happens. That's where freedom begins, not in dominance over life, but in alignment with its nature. Modern application. When faced with disappointment, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is yes, act. If it's no, release it. This small act of mental discipline can end 90% of your anxiety. 2. The emotional cost of trying to control the uncontrollable. Seneca wrote, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." He wasn't being pessimistic, he was being realistic. Life will bring pain, loss, and change. The question isn't if, but how you face it. When you try to control others, their love, loyalty, or opinion, you suffer. When you try to control outcomes, promotions, approval, or timing, you suffer. When you try to control fate itself, you suffer endlessly. The mind becomes a prisoner of what should have been, instead of finding peace in what is. Modern application. Stop rewriting reality in your head. If a relationship ends, if a friend changes, if plans fail, accept, not passively, but peacefully. Acceptance is not surrender. It's clarity, the ability to see life as it is, not as you wish it to be. 3. The power of response. Your true control. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Meditations. Your true control lies in response, not circumstance. You can't stop a storm, but you can choose how to sail through it. You can't stop betrayal, but you can choose dignity instead of revenge. You can't stop loss, but you can grow resilience. When Marcus Aurelius faced political chaos, illness, and betrayal, he didn't demand that the world change. He adjusted himself. That's Stoic mastery. The Stoic doesn't seek control over others. He seeks self-control. Modern application. Next time something frustrates you, a rude comment, a rejection, a failure, don't react immediately. Pause, breathe, reflect, then respond with intention, not impulse. That pause is power. That's control. 4. Acceptance is not weakness, and it's wisdom. Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. Seneca. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's understanding the flow of life. When you accept what you can't change, you don't become weaker, you become lighter. Resistance drains energy. Acceptance restores it. It's not about letting life walk over you. It's about walking with life instead of against it. Imagine a sailor in rough seas. He can't control the wind, but he can adjust his sails. That's what Stoic acceptance means. Adapt, don't surrender. Modern application. If something painful happens, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask instead, "How can I use this?" Transformation begins where resistance ends. 5. The freedom of letting go. Epictetus taught his students to mentally rehearse loss. Not out of fear, but preparation. He said, "Never say of anything, 'I have lost it,' but 'I have returned it.' That includes people, possessions, and moments. Everything in life is temporary, borrowed, not owned. When you realize this, your attachment transforms into appreciation. You stop clinging and start cherishing. Letting go isn't losing control. It's reclaiming peace from illusions. Modern application. Don't cling to outcomes. Don't beg for permanence in a temporary world. Be grateful for moments while they last, and graceful when they pass. 6. The illusion of control in modern life. We live in a world obsessed with control. Control over appearance, social image, likes, followers, even destiny. But Stoicism exposes the illusion. The more you try to control life, the more life controls you. The tighter your grip, the faster things slip through your fingers. The Stoic path is the opposite. You stop trying to control and start commanding yourself. You focus on your effort, not the applause. On your work, not the reward. On your integrity, not the outcome. That shift alone changes everything. Modern application. In your daily routine, practice the circle of control. Draw a circle. Inside, list what's within your control, your effort. Mindset, discipline. Outside, write what's not. Others' opinions, results. Timing. Focus only on what's inside the circle. That's where freedom lives. 7. Emotional stoicism, the calm within chaos. It isn't things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Epictetus. The Stoics knew, emotions aren't enemies, they're teachers. You can feel sadness, anger, fear, and still remain grounded. A Stoic doesn't suppress emotion. He understands it. He asks, is this emotion useful? If yes, he listens. If no, and he releases it. That's emotional stoicism. Awareness without enslavement. Modern application. When you feel emotional turbulence, name it. I'm angry. I'm afraid. I'm hurt. Naming breaks identification. You are not the emotion, you are the observer of it, and that's real control. 8. Acceptance as a source of power. Marcus Aurelius faced death, betrayal, and political decay, and yet wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Acceptance doesn't mean you stop acting. It means you act wisely. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" you ask, "How can this strengthen me?" When you accept reality, you stop wasting energy on denial. That energy turns into power, clarity, and purpose. Modern application. Every time life blocks your path, repeat, "The obstacle is the way." Turn every difficulty into training. Turn pain into wisdom. Turn loss into freedom. 9. The courage to focus on the inner life. It takes courage to stop fighting the external world. Most people chase control because they fear stillness. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Peace is born in the inner world. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. We waste it trying to change what isn't ours to change, other people, fate, the past." The Stoic reclaims that time by mastering himself, thoughts, habits, reactions. That's true courage, not changing the world, but changing how you move within it. Modern application. Dedicate time daily to inner reflection, journaling, meditation, silence. Ask, where did I lose control today? Where can I respond better tomorrow? The more you master your inner life, the less the outer world can shake you. 10. The peace of alignment with nature. Live according to nature. Zeno of Citium to the Stoics. Living according to nature meant accepting the flow of life as it is. Day follows night. Growth follows decay. Love follows loss. Everything moves in cycles. Nothing stays. When you align with this rhythm, life stops feeling like a battle. You don't resist. You flow. You stop demanding control and start practicing harmony. Modern application. When something ends, a season, a friendship, a chapter, remind yourself, this is part of nature's rhythm. Nothing has gone wrong. You're simply being carried forward by life's design. Conclusion. The quiet victory. The Stoics weren't emotionless men in marble temples. They were real people. Emperors, slaves and teachers, and who faced heartbreak, betrayal and death, yet stayed calm through it all, because they understood one eternal truth. Control what you can, accept what you can't, and in that balance, you will find peace. So when life tests you, when someone leaves, when things don't go your way, when plans fall apart, pause and ask, is this under my control? If yes, act with courage. If no, accept with grace. That's how Stoics lived. That's how peace is found, not in controlling life, but in understanding it. Lesson 3. Detachment is strength, not indifference. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Seneca. When a woman likes you and hides it, she's subconsciously drawn to your emotional discipline. She notices you're not desperate for attention. You're not trying to impress her. You're simply being calm, grounded, focused. That's because detachment creates magnetism. You stop seeking validation and instead radiate confidence through self-control. Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes when you stop needing outcomes. Love her or not, your peace remains untouched. Modern application. Don't let your emotions dictate your worth. Practice emotional detachment by focusing on your mission. Exercise. Read. Work. Reflect. Let your values speak louder than your words. When you stop chasing, attraction finds you. There's a quiet power in a man who doesn't flinch when life changes, when emotions storm around him, when someone pulls away, when affection fades, when the world grows uncertain, he remains centered. That's not coldness, that's detachment, a misunderstood but essential Stoic virtue. In today's world, people mistake detachment for indifference. They think to be detached means to not care, to be emotionless, or to avoid love. But the truth is far deeper. Detachment isn't about shutting down your heart. It's about protecting your peace while keeping your heart open. It's about loving without losing yourself, caring deeply, but never being controlled by what you care about. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. And that doesn't just apply to money. It applies to people, emotions, and attachments. The fewer things that control you, the more power you have over your life. Let's explore why detachment is true strength, not indifference, and how the Stoic way can teach you to love, live, and lead with calm power. 1. Detachment gives you emotional freedom. He who is free from desire is free from fear. Seneca. When you depend on something outside yourself for happiness, a relationship, attention, validation, you hand over your peace. You become a prisoner to uncertainty. But the Stoic man understands that no external thing is truly his to keep. People change, feelings shift, and outcomes unfold as they must. To attach is natural. To depend is dangerous. Detachment doesn't mean you stop loving or stop caring. It means you learn to appreciate without needing to possess. You stop saying, "I need her," and start saying, "I enjoy her presence, but I remain whole even if she leaves." This mindset frees you from emotional chaos, because your peace no longer depends on anyone else's actions. Practical application. When you notice yourself obsessing over someone's behavior, when they text less, seem distant, or ignore you, stop and breathe. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing? The person, or the feeling they give me? Usually it's the feeling. So reclaim that feeling by creating it within yourself, through discipline, purpose, and gratitude. 2. Detachment strengthens perception. We suffer not from events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. Epictetus, when you're emotionally attached, your vision becomes clouded. You start interpreting everything through your fears. A delayed reply feels like rejection. A simple disagreement feels like betrayal. You stop seeing reality and start seeing projections of your insecurity. Detachment clears your mind. It allows you to see things as they are, not as your emotions want them to be. That's why Stoics train themselves to pause before reacting, to step back and ask, what is actually happening here? That pause, that single moment of reflection, is where your power lies. Practical application. When emotions rise, don't respond immediately. Observe. If she ignores your message, don't spiral. If someone criticizes you, don't react defensively. Let the emotion pass. Then decide how to act. That calmness isn't weakness, and it's control. For detachment creates inner strength. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Seneca. Attachment is craving affection, attention, or approval, but craving breeds weakness, because it places your power outside yourself. A Stoic man learns to stand complete within. He doesn't chase validation because he validates himself through discipline, honor, and purpose. He doesn't crumble when affection fades because his foundation is internal, not emotional. The more detached you are from outcomes, the stronger you become, because you stop fighting for control and start mastering yourself. Practical application. Detach through daily practice. Limit your need for constant contact. Focus on your goals instead of checking your phone. Replace emotional dependency with productive habits, journaling, training, learning. The man who can be alone without loneliness is unstoppable. 4. Detachment deepens relationships. It sounds ironic, but the less you cling, the more you connect, because true connection thrives in freedom, not pressure. When a woman feels that you're not desperate for her affection, she relaxes, she feels safe, because she senses that your happiness doesn't depend on her mood. You become someone she can trust, not someone she must constantly reassure. This is what Stoicism looks like in love, not coldness, but calmness. You love with open hands, not closed fists. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Notice that, and with all your heart. The Stoic doesn't love halfway. He just loves without fear of loss. Practical application: show love through presence, not possession. When you spend time with someone, be fully there, not trying to predict or control the outcome. If they drift away, let them without bitterness. That's true love, not ownership, but freedom. 5. Detachment is the foundation of peace. Tranquility is nothing else than the good ordering of the mind. Marcus Aurelius. Peace doesn't come from getting everything you want. It comes from realizing you don't need everything you want. When you're attached, your peace is fragile. One argument, one rejection, one change can destroy it. When you're detached, your peace is permanent because it comes from within. Detachment allows you to engage with life without being consumed by it. You can love deeply, work passionately, and care sincerely, but remain free. That's what makes Stoicism so powerful. It teaches you how to live fully, not fearfully. Practical application: practice daily detachment by letting go of small irritations. When plans change, accept. When people disappoint you, forgive. When outcomes fail, adapt. Each act of surrender strengthens your peace. 6. Detachment is the ultimate power at its core. Detachment means this: you own your mind, and nothing owns you. That is real power. Not dominance over others, but mastery over yourself. Epictetus taught that a man becomes invincible when he no longer desires anything outside his control. That's the warrior mindset of Stoicism. You stop fighting external battles and start mastering internal ones. So when the world pulls you in every direction, when love tempts, anger burns, or fear whispers, remember your greatest weapon is your calm. Practical application: meditate on control. Ask yourself each morning, what can I control today? Then focus only on that, your emotions, your focus, your response, nothing else. Conclusion: love without losing yourself. Detachment is not about being heartless. It's about having a heart that cannot be broken by anything outside your control. It's the art of being fully alive, but never enslaved by what you love. As Seneca once wrote, "He who has learned to die has unlearned to serve." To detach is to accept life's impermanence and find peace in it. Because the truth is, you never really lose what's meant for you. You just lose your illusion of control. So love freely, but don't depend. Care deeply, but stay grounded. And when life changes, smile. Because nothing can take away what's already yours. Your peace, your power, your presence. Lesson 4. Patience is power. No great thing is created suddenly. Epictetus. Attraction, just like mastery, takes time. When a woman hides her interest, she's observing you too, your patience, your consistency, your energy. Most men rush. They push for answers, force confessions, demand clarity. But a Stoic man trusts the timing of things. Seneca said, "Time heals what reason cannot." A woman may act indifferent today, but patience reveals truth. With time, her behavior, her comfort, and her openness will speak volumes. Modern application: practice patience in every area. Relationships, goals, emotions. Don't chase instant validation. Let attraction evolve naturally. The man who can wait without anxiety is the man every woman remembers. Lesson 5. Emotional balance of the Stoic core. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Confucius, and echoed by Stoic principles. When a woman hides her emotions, it can trigger yours. You may feel doubt, frustration, or confusion. But Stoicism reminds us, emotions are signals, not commands. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. That means her silence, her tests, or her distance only hurt if you let them." A Stoic man stays emotionally balanced, not cold, but centered. He feels emotion but does not become emotion. Modern application. When she pulls away, Don't spiral, reflect, breathe. Ground yourself. Channel your energy into growth, not worry, because emotional balance is more attractive than any appearance. Lesson 6, the art of non-reactivity. Make the mind tough by constant discipline. Marcus Aurelius. In attraction, the most powerful man is the one who doesn't react impulsively. He doesn't panic when she takes longer to reply. He doesn't change his entire behavior for attention. He stays true to his principles. A woman who likes you but hides it often wants to see if you can handle uncertainty, because emotional maturity is rare and deeply attractive. Modern application. Practice non-reactivity daily. Pause before replying. Pause before assuming. In every situation, respond with clarity, not emotion. It's not about pretending not to care. It's about choosing peace over panic. Lesson 7. Value yourself first. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Zeno of Citium. Before you can understand whether a woman likes you, you must understand your own worth. Stoicism teaches self-respect through virtue, discipline, and integrity. If she hides her interest, that's fine, because your value doesn't depend on her acknowledgement. It comes from who you are when no one is watching. A Stoic man builds himself, his mind, body, and purpose, regardless of external validation. He becomes the type of man who doesn't chase attention because he already has self-respect. Modern application: wake up early, build routines, learn something new every day, become consistent. When you value yourself deeply, you stop negotiating your worth for temporary affection. Lesson 8. Acceptance, the ultimate freedom. Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. Seneca. Sometimes, despite your best self, the woman you like won't reveal her feelings or she might never choose you. Stoic doesn't crumble under that reality. He accepts it, with calm. Acceptance doesn't mean weakness. It means you've learned to find peace in every outcome. You've detached from expectation. And that's where true freedom begins. Modern application. When life or love doesn't go your way, remind yourself you are only responsible for your actions, not the world's reactions. Accept, adapt, and keep moving forward, like a warrior of the mind. Lesson 9. Presence, the power of now. Confine yourself to the present. Marcus Aurelius. When you're constantly analyzing her signals, you're living in your mind and not in the moment. But women feel energy. They feel presence. If you're anxious, overthinking, or trying to predict her thoughts, she senses that instability. A Stoic man is present. He listens. He observes. He enjoys the moment without needing anything in return. Modern application. Put the phone down when you're with her. Listen more. Talk less. Be fully present. Presence builds trust, and trust reveals feelings faster than pressure ever will. Lesson 10. Self-mastery, the essence of Stoic attraction. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. At the heart of Stoicism lies self-mastery, the ability to rule your own mind, emotions, and actions. That's what truly attracts people. Not status, not looks, not charms, but inner power. When a woman hides her attraction, she's subconsciously measuring your mastery. Do you lose focus when she withdraws? Do you crumble when she's cold? Or do you remain centered, confident, and unshaken? Modern application: train your mind like a muscle. Read daily. Meditate. Journal. When life throws emotional tests your way, smile. You're growing stronger, because the Stoic man doesn't chase. He becomes. Conclusion: the Stoic heart attraction isn't a game of tricks and tactics. It's a mirror reflecting who you are inside. A woman who hides her feelings may be protecting her heart, but that doesn't concern you. Your task is to master yourself, not her emotions. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. That is the Stoic way: to observe without attachment, to love without losing yourself, to lead with calm, strength, and purpose. Because when you do, you'll find that the right woman won't need to hide her feelings anymore. She'll see your peace embarsamdur and feel safe revealing her heart.